Today's ASMR video is a showcase ramble of the Enchanted Earth Oracle. It's a mass market deck through Rockpool, and at least in the United States came out, I believe, this summer. I think Rockpool's an Australian company, if I remember, so it might have been out in the world before that, but here in the United States, I think it came out this summer. So this is the book. The top of the box is a similar image, so I didn't think it was super important to show that. Like most Rockpool books, it's really nice, the full color photos, and she has a couple spreads at the beginning, as well as information on the significance of the animals. So the cards themselves have like keywords, but so, for example, the wolf, it says loyalty, teamwork, community. So just as sort of another layer you can read with the cards. This is the backs. And I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Maybe change the lighting some. Because what I'll do is, like I do in my other Ramble videos, change the lighting a little. Well, first I'm going to show you the cards, just go through them, say their name. If something pops to my head, I might say something. And then at the end, do a 3-card spread. You're welcome to pause it and read it as you would want to read it. What I'll do is probably look at it on its own first, like the images, and then go through and read from the guidebook for each card, so you can kind of see how it is in practice. So let's go ahead and start looking through the cards, and I've already shuffled them a couple times, so they won't be in order. So 21 is onwards, release, shame, hope. Number 30 has a unicorn, and it's worthiness, resting, self-discovery, introspection. Number 29 has coexist, tolerance, acceptance, and unity. Number 13 is synchronicity, intuition, wisdom, and messages. Observe is enlightenment, flow, and growth. It's number 26. Did I say that? I'm very tired today, so I may repeat things and not even remember. So number 25 is mirrors, reflections, empathy, and understanding. Number 24 is you are the earth, reconnect, renew, and remember. Number 12 is grateful, gratitude, anticipation, appreciation. Number 28 is divine timing, chiming, trust, and success. Number 36 is changing winds, adaptable, self-awareness, decisions. I love the colors she uses, and the animals that, like, they're simple, as in, like, there's not just like a whole bunch of different animals, but she kind of reuses the same ones. This is number 35, adventure, experiences, memories, present moment. Rise is 34, reliable, trustworthy, and commitment. And I'll triple check here at the end. I believe, let's see. Actually, I'll check now. So the author is in Australia, and then the illustrator is from the east of England, where it says where she's spent all her life. And why I was bringing that up is I was think it's interesting because a lot of English illustrators for Tarot Oracle, to me, have a very similar. This is Walk Away, number 33, Goodbyes, Line of Possibilities. They don't necessarily have a similar style, but I guess because of the landscape there, and or not the landscape so much as like the types of animals. There's like a tameness to the wildness, you know what I mean? So like deer, rabbits, weasels, foxes. Number 16, balance, harmony, integration. You always get this sense of, like, for better or worse, a sense of safety in there. In a lot of number 31 movement, really scaling quiet progress, in a lot of decks that focus on nature, or the illustrators from the UK. Number 2, blessings, renewal, grace, gentleness, and that's just from my own observation, like, I don't know how accurate, it's not a scientific study. Number 1, buried within, trusting intuition, dreams, and so I think that's sort of neither good nor bad, just sort of what you're looking for in a particular deck. So number 19, fertile, indulgence, fertility, abundance. And even if the images or, like, the animals themselves are, more tame, that doesn't mean, I think, that you can't use the deck to explore both, sort of light and shadow sides of yourself. Number 18, sovereign, courage, reclamation, destiny. I mean, in some ways, it might be easier to work with. It's number 17, clean up, declutter, accountability, home. Sort of more tame creatures, because you can feel calm. Number 8, forgive, forgiveness, compassion, healing. You can feel calm while exploring those things, right? You're not sort of confronted by frightening images, or even if you're dealing with frightening feelings. This is number 7, empowered, strength, courage, self-reliance. I love the color scheme. This is number 20, frozen, perfectionism, overthinking, progress. Especially cards with, like, this color scheme. Like, there's like a white stag and that kind of blue, gray, green, black. This is New Dawn, number 4, death, rebirth, grief. So I really like the art in this deck. Number 5, come as you are, authenticity, individual uniqueness. But that's something that draws me to a lot of the decks I have. Is number 6, take flight, transformation, exploration, adventure, is like the art. I think the first deck I ever got, that was part of why I got it. I wasn't necessarily looking for tarot. I loved that artist's work. Like, I loved her images, and then I was like, oh, she's a tarot deck. So I was like, okay, for $25, I can own like 70 something of her painting. And so it was sort of like, oh, this is a cheap way to get a lot of art. This is number 14, opportunity, manifesting, discernment, discipline. And my reasons for interacting with tarot and oracle and my use of it have definitely changed over time, but I think that underlies, at least for me, not all, but many of the decks that I acquire are either things that I really like the art, whether that's something really beautiful like this, or something that might be like quirky, but in a way that, I find fun. Illuminate, number 15, honesty, transparency, and divine order. Although I do have, like, sort of darker decks, or some that maybe the art doesn't quite speak to me, but some other part of the deck does. Number 22, quiet achiever, solitude, privacy, and discretion. Number 23, follow the leader, influence, inspire, and collective healing. I like on these cards too that there's like a main keyword, but then there's like keywords for the keyword. Number 9, fidelity, relationships, faithfulness, reassurance. Because I think it's a nice way, like, I love a good guidebook, right? And this is, decent. This isn't, it's neither too small nor too big. Well, to me, there's no too big, but it's not too small. But one thing that's nice is sometimes I feel like, as much as I love a guidebook, reading through the whole thing, by the time I've, like, finished reading, I'm like, wait, what was that about? So I imagine this will be helpful in terms of kind of bridging that. It's neat how the creation is coming out of the how community alignment focus, because it, you know, because like you can read it, but when you get to the next card and you're reading that, you still have these keywords to remind you, oh yeah, that card was about, you know, inspiration, breakthrough, creativity. For instance, in this number 11, inspired, we have enough, which is number 32, appreciated, patient, and self-love. And then we only have 2 more. Number 3, guardian, guidance, support, and nurturing. And then number 27, wildly, untamed, wild, and free. It's neat, the purples. It's very different. It seems like a color that a lot of the others in the stack. So that's kind of cool. Like, it seems like a lot of them, like, there's some that have very different color schemes, and then there's some that, you know, have more unusual ones for this particular deck. So I'm going ahead and I'm cutting the deck 3 times, or shuffled, cut, and then I'm going to pull the 3 from different parts of the deck. I'm going to have to change the you know, pull the camera out a little, but let me pull these out first. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So obviously, or not obviously, because you may not have used tarot oracle cards before, a lot of people do a 3-card spread. So some common things are 1-card spread and a 3-card spread. And in the case of her book, and oftentimes people will do this, it's past, present, and future. And so you can come up with a question and, you know, think about that in context of past, present, and future. So like, what's led you to your current issue, what is the current issue, and what you can do or expect moving forward. There's other 3-card ways to look at the 3-card spread. I often, if you've watched my other videos, I guess I do spreads a little bit more like just kind of seeing where they go, like seeing if a narrative kind of takes shape, loosely sort of past, present, future. But let's see the ones we have. So we have sovereign in the position of the past. That's courage, reclamation, and destiny. Reclamation's a good word. Then in the present piece, we have empowered, strength, courage, self-reliance, number 7. And buried within, trusting, intuition, and dreams, number 1. So let me just look at this for a second. You can too. You're welcome to pause it at this moment. Just look at the cards. So just commenting on sort of what I see visually a little bit is obviously there's plants in all of them, but like in this one, the trees are bare. There's also like a tree within the wings of the owl. And the one with the bear, there's a lot more like, is that conifers? There's, you know, evergreens. And then in the position of the first one, you have just sort of a, probably like a deciduous forest. You have a path, looks like, in that first one. Really no path in that one, in the middle, or the last one. The other thing I noticed is in this first one, the animal, and I get this from looking at like the position of the animal from Eric Mayle's The Endless Oracle. because in his guidebook he talks about looking at like the placement, is like there's one card where it's like a butterfly, but the butterfly basically takes up the whole, card. It's very front in the card, whereas there's other cards where like there might be a figure, but it's real small. So thinking about where the focus is. So like in this one, and I don't know that that's what this artist is going for, but just sort of noticing for myself the image, the animal in this one. Well, there's birds in the top and the fox at the bottom, and maybe the fox is looking in the trees, maybe it's looking up at the birds, but it's very small in comparison to the trees. And in this one, the bear and in the owl, they're very much like the focus, especially the owl. But it's almost like you can almost see growing in terms of, even the location, right? It's almost like growing like a curve upwards. So those are just some things that kind of pop out. The colors pop out, like that one's more, obviously like pinks and purple hues. This one's more sort of blue, white, and then green and brown. So, and then we have sovereign, empowered, buried within. So both sovereign and empowered have courage as part of their keywords, and yeah, so let's go ahead and read. Oh, I just turned right to sovereign. All right, number 15. Keywords are courage, reclamation, and destiny. There's a quote: "In the face of fear, I reclaim control of my destiny." In the depths of fear, reclaim control of your destiny. Fear has no power over your life unless you hand the power over to it. You are being called to partake in a ceremony which serves as a powerful reminder that you cannot allow fear to dictate the path you take in life. It's time to confront your fears, take back control, and move forward with courage and dignity. Reflect on the ways that fear has prevented you from taking a chance, all the missed opportunities and moments of joy that have been taken away. How have you allowed fear to control your decisions? Is it time to make a commitment to yourself and reclaim control of your life? It is time to make a commitment to yourself and reclaim control of your life. You need to get behind the wheel and start steering with intention. You're a strong, sovereign individual. You don't have to be fearless to make a fearless choice. And that's a good line. It's a good piece of advice. It's also just a good line. You don't have to be fearless to make a fearless choice. It kind of goes back to that idea. I mentioned in another video, like when people say, like being brave is being afraid and doing it anyway. But I like the phrasing of courage feels like fear. Like you're never like, having courage doesn't mean it feels good. And so this to me is kind of similar, like having courage, making a fearless choice doesn't mean you have to not have fear. And it says, you don't have to be fearless to make a fearless choice. You just need to believe that you're making the right choice and that the universe will reward you for taking a leap of faith because of the fear, not despite it. And then she has a ritual. And she has this at the end of, I think, every card, of a different ritual. Fear transmutation art. Gather some art supplies and get your hands messy in an art therapy session focused on transforming your fears into symbols of power. You can choose to paint, draw, use clay, collage, or any other art medium of your choice. Begin by creating an image that depicts one of your fears and then transform it into a symbol of strength, resilience, or empowerment. This process will help you to reframe your fears. Keep this artwork and refer to it whenever it is required in the future. Let it be a talisman of courage and determination for you. So I guess maybe what I'm going to do with this one might be a little different than what I've done with some of the other 3 cards. I might kind of speak to the card individually and then see if there's sort of a coherency to the 3 cards for me. Obviously, again, for yourself, always feel free, obviously pause if you wanted to see the cards, listen to the reading from a card, like the book reading, fast forward, another book reading, fast forward, another book reading, whatever worked for you. Or if you're listening to this for sort of purely ASMR purposes, obviously, and you're here for the rambles, you get them. I'm a rambler. So like I said, I think the thing that hits me strongest is that you don't have to be fearless to make a fearless choice. And also, I like, just even from the beginning, in the depths of fear, reclaim control of your destiny. Let's see. And also, at the very beginning, the quote, in the face of fear, I reclaim control of my destiny. I'm feeling that a little right now. And also, like, it also popped into my head because I always think, like, well, if you're someone who has a lot of anxiety or panic attacks or those kind of things, it can be really hard to differentiate like intuition from those things. It can also be, I think, sometimes hard to be like just genuine fear, you know, like everyday kind of fear. I don't like whether it's big or small versus just like how your body interacts with the world, right? Like how your body might interact with the world versus something that's actually fearful. And as I was reading it, it sort of jumped into my head that I was kind of proud of myself for certain things that like I've had like sort of an extreme amount of, I mean, I've had it even worse before in my life, but more than I've had in a long time, you know, anxiety and panic and things like that. But that despite all of that, I confronted fearful things. And so reading this card, I did feel very much empowered. I did feel very much like that reclamation, you know, reclaimed, like I stood my ground basically no matter what it cost, and it cost a lot. All right, so let's go on to the next card, number 7, empowered. Keywords: strength, courage, so we've got courage again, and self-reliance. The quote is, I am empowered to take action to achieve my goals. I don't need saving. Just like the bear, you're encouraged to tap into your inner reservoirs of strength and resilience. No one's coming to rescue you. This is a profound and liberating truth. The power to shape your destiny lies solely within your grasp. Stop waiting for someone else to save the day. It's time to stand tall and take ownership of your life. It's time to come out of hibernation and embrace your power and to pave your own way. You're the master of your fate. Move with purpose and pursue your dreams with enthusiasm and intention. If you find yourself feeling stuck or frozen in indecision and overwhelm, affirm out loud to yourself, I do not need saving, I can save myself. Let these words echo through your entire body, igniting a fire within. Keep that flame ablaze as you venture like a bear into the wilderness, out of the clouds of uncertainty and towards the horizons of possibilities. You are a sovereign being. There's that sovereign coming in again. The hero of your story, the only person whose opinion on your choices matter. Look deep within to find the strength and courage to tap into your limitless potential. The ritual here is called Spell Jar. Embrace the energy of the resilient bear within this spell jar. In a tiny jar, place a tiger's eye crystal and some dried thyme. Light a red candle, a symbol of your illuminating clarity and strength. As the candle burns, visualize yourself embodying the qualities of the bear, strong, resilient, and self-sufficient. Once the candle has melted a little, carefully drip the wax over the lid to seal the bottle, sealing your intention. Carry this bottle with you as a talisman of empowerment and a reminder of your own serenity. What's interesting is that even though sovereign's not a keyword with empowered, it comes up multiple times in the description, in the reading of the card, and then that we have that in the first part. It's almost feel like it's a repetition again. Courage, sovereign, empowered. So let's go ahead and see about number 1, which is buried within. Keywords: trusting, intuition, and dreams. The quote is, "I attune to the messages buried in the depths of my consciousness." Embrace the insight that comes to you in your dreams. The owl in deep slumber beneath the stars has appeared in this reading to encourage you to open your awareness to the messages from your subconscious. In doing so, you unveil profound insights to guide you in your waking life. There is wisdom buried within you, yearning to be seen in your mind's eye. In the whirlwind of your daily responsibilities, you are often stuck in your analytical mind, drifting further away from your instinctive and primal psychic power. It's important to know that your power persists, much like the enduring force of nature. This wisdom that is always within you seeks to be unearthed and is now ready to come forward to you in your dreams. Pay close attention to the messages you receive in the dream realm. There is valuable guidance for your journey ahead. Know that you are being guided by the spirit of the wise owl, and any messages received should be welcomed with trust and gratitude. Ritual: nocturnal insight. Place this card on your bedside table to welcome the spirit of the wise owl into your room. In a small folded cloth or little pouch, place a blue kyanite crystal and some mugwort herb. Place this under your pillow to encourage psychic dreaming. So I'm looking back at the reading for this card and seeing if something particular jumps out at me. I guess I always kind of go back to the anxiety and panic, because like for me in my dreams aren't awesome places a lot of the time, so I don't really think of sleep as a restful place. So it's hard to think of like, I was thinking of them as, obviously you can get a lot of wisdom even from bad dreams, but they're not necessarily, So if I were to look at this as like past, present, future, I guess maybe I would see it again. I feel like I'm always just saying what I already think about something, but maybe sometimes it's just owning it, or I don't know. But that I did have to sort of take on this being afraid, having a lot of anxiety and panic, but doing it anyway because it was the right thing to do. It was basically the only thing to do. And that through that, I definitely feel, at least internally, a sense of empower. Like I knew something about myself I didn't know before. Or maybe a better way to put it is like I've proven to myself that there's a part of me that's real in a certain way that I didn't know whether it was real or not. Like a very strong part. And actually the bear's a good image for that, because often when I've thought about it the past year or so, is almost like, like being a good parent to my inner child. Like saying like, no, you cannot, saying to this outside force, no, you cannot hurt me. Like I'm not gonna stand for it. It wasn't just my inner child, but thinking of it like that, like, yes, the part of me that's anxious and panic and afraid out of my mind needs help. So that part's the child. Not that it's childish, but that's the part that like it can't help itself. So that mama bear, and I do definitely right this moment feel also very mama bear, but like in a really sort of victorious way of like, yes, I have protected that, that cub or if I'm thinking of that buried within as the future, is that, that strength, like now is a time of rest and recuperation and finding getting my energy back, becoming more integrated, more functional again. And so, it's like really like I went through something that sort of has taught me something about myself, and now feel a little bit more like that quality is something I can, if not reclaim, then claim for the first time. I'm not sure. And that now comes a time of, you don't have to fight, you don't have to be, in that mode. You can close your eyes and, you're out in the night, right? That's your space. So it's not like there are not any predators, but you're kind of the predator, right? Like you're kind of and not, and more in the sense of like, not you're the predator, but you're no one's prey, I guess is a better way to put it. So, maybe it's kind of looking to the future of like, it's okay to sort of breathe and rest and, let life take back over again. So, I don't know. As always, I'm really curious if you're willing to share what you got out of these cards. I'd always love to hear it. And, but I'm grateful you've come anyway. Hopefully it's given you a chance to see this deck, put the images here with the guidebook, some guidebook readings, and then seen a spread that maybe you've see whether that's something that kind of calls to you or not. So thank you for coming today, and I hope to see you again soon.